G'day guys, what's going on? Scotty Pass here. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We make videos on travel related topics most of the time. Consider liking, subscribing, and hit that notification bell. It'll let you know every time I release a brand new video. Okay, before you guys go on to roast me again in the comments, I am well aware that the time behind me on the laptop does not match the timeline of this video. Why is that, you ask? Because I had to film this video twice. And now here I am, piecing it all together. It's a real metaphor for my life. So today we're going to be talking about my experience as an Australian working in an American summer camp. Yes. Okay, so to start off, talking about my experience working in a summer camp, I am an Australian. I was 18 at the time, so that's about 10 years ago that I actually went over to the States and I worked as a camp counselor. Now, I was a tennis coach, so I had some experience coaching kids prior to leaving to the States. But in this video, I really want to kind of not expose, but let you guys know what you're in for, because it is a wild 3 months, I can tell you that. You work long hours. The food is not great. But in saying that, this was 10 years ago. So who knows? It might have changed by now. I'm not sure. Guys, so basically what I want to talk about today is my experience working in a summer camp, and I hope that you guys can relate to that a little bit, and hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of information on what you can expect if you're looking to do the same thing for the upcoming American summer camp season. So firstly, I found out about a camp counselor position through my paper that was delivered that weekend. This is going back a fair bit. So I found out about a job expo for CCUSA, which is Camp Counselors USA. It is one of the most popular camp counselor programs that are available. I know there's CCUSA. I know that there is... oh God, what's the other one? Fuck. I'll insert some pictures here of other ones. There was so many different camps that people from all over the world were involved with at this one summer camp. So I was at a camp called Camp Moden in Maine, in America. It was a beautiful camp, absolutely stunning. It was set on like a thermal lake, so the lake was really warm most of the time, which was great. Okay, so I guess we're just going to jump straight into this video. I'm going to tell you everything I loved, everything I hated, and you guys can make a decision for yourself based on whether or not it is the right thing for you to do. Yeah, let's get into it. The sole reason I chose to actually be part of a summer camp was to not only travel less expensively while I was in the States, but to make a little bit of money while I was there, and to also kind of break out of the bubble that I was in at that time. I was 18 at the time, I'd just finished school. So for me as an 18-year-old, it was a super crazy experience. I probably wouldn't recommend going when you're this age. I would probably give yourself a few years out of school while you've had some work experience out in the real world first. It just helps you gain a few more people skills. I am naturally an introverted type of person. I get pretty anxious about certain situations. So for me, I think being that young and just going and doing it rather than kind of umming and ahhing about it and deciding whether or not, oh, should I do this, should I not do this? It was such a whirlwind experience. So for me, I guess at that stage of my life, it was... What word am I after? Nerve-wracking. So if there's anything positive that came from this, it made me realize that I do not want kids, never want kids. If I were to do it now as a 20-something-year-old, there's no way in hell you'd get me over there. And then a lot of people watching this video who are good friends with me, who know me well, you guys are probably sitting there laughing right now. I know when I told you this story that you find it so funny that I worked with children 24 hours a day. So basically how it started out, I found a ad in my local paper, and then I went down to this kind of event one particular night that was hosting CCUSA, and they kind of gave you a quick run through on what you could expect if you were to work for CCUSA. So I went through that night and then loved the kind of presentation. They really sold it to me. And then from there, they had a scheduled job expo. It's pretty much similar to going to any other type of expo, like a travel expo, if you will. I went to this event that had hundreds of tents. So they were all people either selling, promoting, or working for particular camps based in the US. So I went to this and then I kind of went all the way around to all these different tents and said to them, hey, I am a tennis coach. These are my skill sets. Would you guys be interested in having me at your camp for the 3-month basis? And surprisingly, as an 18-year-old, I got a lot of offers, and 2 of those offers came from the largest, biggest, and most expensive camps in America, Camp Laurel and Camp Moden. Both are very reputable. Both were the top of the game type camps when I was there. going back quite a while. So I was really shocked that I was able to get a job literally within 2 minutes of walking into this expo. So my mum was waiting out in like the lobby area of this hotel for me where the event was held. And I walked out maybe 15 minutes later. I was like, hey, yeah, I got a job. And she was like, what the fuck? So that was crazy. I ended up taking a job with Camp Moden over Camp Laurel. Camp Laurel seemed to be a little bit too polished. And for me at that stage, you can kind of pick up on my vibe already. I'm not the most refined person. That was amazing to pick up a job straight away. They really wanted tennis coaches, and Camp Moden was like, yep, we want you. You've got the experience we want. I'm going to tell you right now, people that have a certain skill set will get paid more. I got paid about $1,400 for the 8 to 10 weeks that I was there. Not a lot of money considering that I would make that back home in a fortnight quite easily at my regular job. You have your accommodation paid for, you have food paid for, which is a huge cost that you don't have to fork out during your time traveling. So for me to have everything organised prior to going over to the States was a huge plus, and then not only have my accommodation and food organised, but then also have a job organised while I was there, and then have a little bit of money saved up for my travels after. I only went over with about $1,000, so it was not much money at all to last me 3 months. Oh my god, my voice is fucked. This is the second time I've recorded this video, so holy dooly, I'm gonna need some water. I need some chapstick cause my lips are fucked. Okay, so the benefits of going with CCUSA were that they really quickly fast-tracked my visa. They enabled me to get the job at the Job Expo. You're basically guaranteed a job if you have a skill set. And then from there, within a couple of months, I was in America working. It was crazy. I'm going to tell you right now, guys, camp counseling is not for you if you do not like getting up early, if you don't like long hours of work, and if you don't like children. They're the three things that I honestly wouldn't recommend this for you if you hate those things. First point, you work long hours. You're up at about 5:30 every morning, and then you do not go to bed until 12:30, 1, 2 in the morning because the kids aren't likely to go to bed when you tell them to. Most of them are rebels. They're there seeing their friends. American summer camps are like a religion to kids based in the US. They come to these camps every single year without fail. Their families or their parents pay a huge amount of money for them to be there for the full 8 to 10 weeks. And it's them catching up with lifelong friends. They do make lifelong friends in American summer camp. So for them, it's a huge deal. And it's also a huge deal for them to get to meet you, to invest their time, and for them to create new friendships. So by the end of the 8 to 10 weeks, they do grow very attached to you, particularly if you're from another country. So a typical day for me would kind of be get up at 5:30. We'd do like a flag raising ceremony. So the boys were on one side of the camp and the girls were on another for that part of the morning. It was a co-ed camp. And then from there you go straight back to the dorm. They get ready, you go to breakfast, and then straight from there you head back to the dorms, and the kids have to make sure the dorms are like impeccably clean. We do a dorm check every single day, so the dorms have to be left clean. And then from there, your kids or you would go up and check a schedule of what was on that day. Now, I was on court, coaching tennis for about 8 to 9 hours a day. So I was in the sun for a lot of it. But the benefit of being a specialized counselor as opposed to a general counselor at that time was that I got to see a large variety of kids throughout that day. It wasn't just the one group that I was stuck with. So from there, you do all your activities during the day. You'd stop for lunch, you'd stop for like an afternoon tea, then do another activity, and then you come back to the dorms, everyone would shower, get ready, make sure the dorms were still clean, and then you would essentially probably go out for dinner. You'd go to the dinner in the dining hall. There'd be some announcements there, and then you do like an evening activity. Then basically at night, you try to put the kids down to sleep, and they would not sleep for hours. I'm talking hours. You'd be up till all hours of the night trying to get these kids to sleep and then to finally settle down. And then you repeat that for 8 weeks. The food was quite honestly shit. American food is not great. It's not particularly healthy. And of course, it's made in bulk batches. So we had things like mac and cheese, a lot of days, the variety wasn't great. So if you are vegan, if you do have a lot of dietary requirements, this probably isn't going to be great for you. You can still get by, there's still salads and things like that, but it's not catered to vegans or vegetarians or that type of thing. It may well have changed by now. It's been a long time since I was at camp, so the third thing I did not like was you get 1 day off per, I think it was like 1 week or to 10 days, 1 day off. The way it's structured, you have to be back at camp at a particular time, on a particular day, and if you don't, you're kicked out, you're gone, you don't get paid, that's it, it's all over. We had a number of people in my actual dorm who got kicked out for certain reasons. So guys, as far as amenities go, so things like showers and toilets, you don't get a whole deal of privacy. If you are a person that likes your privacy, if you like your own bathroom, toilet, whatever, this probably isn't going to be for you. You're dealing with kids that get sick, you're dealing with kids that get homesick, you're dealing with kids that bully one another, you're dealing with kids that pick fights. There's a lot going on throughout the day, and you have to be ready and willing to kind of deal with those situations. They do have other nurses and older counselors at the camp, so if you're facing any issues while you're there, you can always go to them. But for the majority of the time, any issues that arise with the kids are solely put on you. I'll say the best thing about it was meeting other people from other countries. I met so many people from Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Scotland, the States. Obviously, there were Americans working in the summer camps that had grown up in this particular summer camp. So that was incredible to meet so many different people from all across the world who I actually ended up traveling with afterwards. Okay guys, so that was pretty much my experience as an Australian working in an American summer camp. I would recommend it if you're a first-time traveler and you're looking to cut down on your costs. I would not recommend it if you don't like children, if you don't like early starts, you don't like long hours, and you don't like a lack of food choice. It was definitely one of those kind of growth experiences. It allowed me to come out of my shell a little bit more. It allowed me to kind of interact with other people that were a lot older than I was and also younger, and really helped me build some social skills that I still carry with me today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful and informative, and I hope it helps you on your journey on deciding which summer camp you want to go to or what the experience could be like. If you like this video, guys, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and also don't forget to hit that notification button down below. It will notify you every time I release a brand new video. So this was my first sit-down video in a long time. I don't really do these. I do more vlog style, cinematic style stuff. Feel free to leave some comments below. Any comments you have about working in a summer camp, I will definitely answer those down below. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.